her to take care of his mama and his kids and all kinds.
And she ain't got no kids with him.
She ain't got no
Go
kids with
somewhere.
him. But because she makes the money, she's gonna have to pay him something.
But you in a situation that makes everybody mad.
Yeah, I pay child support.
Do you see the baby?
Because the child's not biologically connected to me.
Right.
So what
you like? I'm not getting involved in that.
What people don't know, because you will never see anything other than the smile. I don't let you in on my private life. So what people don't know is every day we argued. Every day we argued about this. He wanted a baby. I did not want a baby because I have Jeffrey with special needs. I was tired.
Right.
And he was like, it ain't fair that you have a baby. Do you have a son and I don't have a son? And I mean, it literally, basically, he was like, well, if you don't have my baby, then... So when somebody do this,
right,
that mean I'm gonna go, and it was so public, our wedding, because he wanted to have it on TV. He wanted to have a big wedding, which the IRS is still auditing me for. And so it was just like, it was so public, it was an embarrassment. So basically, I had consigned myself to, okay, we're gonna have this baby and I'm gonna just be unhappy for the rest of my life and have an affair. Because I said, well, how are we gonna take care of this child? Because I'm working 2 jobs already. I'm doing a newlywed game, I'm doing a view, and he like, we'll get a second nanny. How are we supposed to afford a second nanny?
Oh, I'm just supposed to work myself to death.
And then I told him, because he was an out of work writer, and I said, well, you gotta get a job writing. And he was like, no, because if we have a baby, I'm staying home. No, I don't do stay at home husbands. I do husbands that work. But he was adamant, I'm not going to Hollywood to get no job. I'm gonna stay home. And well, then how am I supposed to? Then that means I gotta work. So people don't understand. We were having those kind of arguments every day, and then I gotta go on the air and be happy. So I finally say, fine. I didn't pick the surrogate. I didn't pick the donor who had the egg. I didn't pick the gestational carrier. I was not involved. So when I finally put him out, because I found out he was doing all kinds of stuff, he said, I said, well, I'll pay you $2,000 a month, $2,500 for your son, and if if you need anything, if I'm working, I'll be the fairy godmother. I'll come, hey Kevin, I'll come in here and I'll help you out. And then he was like, no, I want $10,000 a month. And he said, if your son go to private school, my son go to private school. And I said, but my son is in a school for kids with special needs. If he wasn't, he'd be open a public school in Jersey. So it was that kind of extortion stuff to people. And because God, when he was doing all the interviews, God was like, shut it down. So because God was like, don't talk, I never said nothing. So people don't know. Then, I go and they go, all my merchandise that I used to sell on the road, I had built up like 25 grand. So when my business manager was like, yeah, you got $200. So he took all the money out the account. So that's the kind of stuff people don't know. And for me, like, the baby doesn't know me. I put him out when the lady was 4 months pregnant.
Right.
It would be more detrimental to my son to have a relationship with a child that's not biologically his brother.
Right.
Nobody thinks about my son. They keep going, well, why don't y'all just, be a part of the baby's life? But the baby don't know me.
Right, at all.
He doesn't know me at all. We're not biologically connected. For me to try to build a bond with my son and this child, when he already has 2 siblings from my ex-husband who cheated on me and had a baby. Now, I do everything I can to keep their bond. But to open my son's heart to a child that's not his brother, it doesn't make any sense. So I think people don't understand that he wants to have a relationship so he can still be attached to me, so he can do a reality show, so he can, That's why it fought so hard to put my name on their birth certificate. Because I offered to give him a big lump sum. But
right.
I didn't want my name on the birth certificate. But he fought so hard because for my name to be on the birth certificate, he can still go to People magazine and say, Sherri ain't visited her son and we made this baby out of love and he's sitting here and he got a disease that's going to kill him. Which it's a blood disorder that 4 out of 10 black boys have. Then my son has the same blood disorder, but he plays it up for the media. So people don't know all of that. But we took it to the Supreme Court. And so, I pay child support and it's okay. Because if God, the baby didn't ask to be in this.
No.
And so if God is using me to be a financial blessing, then that means I'm always work. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's still,
But I have to take onus. You have to take onus for your part in the situation.
Right.
I married him out of fear. I had a fear that Jeffrey wasn't going to have a strong man in his life. I married him out of fear that I wasn't going to get married again. That, you go through that whole thing. Oh, who going to want me? Am I going to be married again? Now I'm fine. I'm fine being single. Before I was like, I got to be married.
Yeah, because you get to a certain age and you start getting scared. Like, who going to take care of me?
Yeah.
Am I going to just be working myself to death for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
Like, I need somebody.
And then, girl, people would tell me, you can't have sex. You gotta be married. You can't be out here having sex. You gotta be celibate.
Because you don't want people talking about you. Your business gonna be in the street. Whatever.
The Bible say, 1 Corinthians say, if you lusted, you gotta get married. And I was like, okay, now I gotta get married to have sex. Geez, I don't have all that anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I needed that relationship to learn how to say, this is what works for me.
Yes.
So what is working for me, I know y'all say I gotta be celibate, but what works for me right now is my son about to get up in a couple hours. I need you to go. I'm okay with that.
I think as grown women we have needs, and that's what.
Like I'm not 17,
and that's what I love about Insecure too. I think that because the conversations that we've been having, because I was like, who wanted Issa and Lawrence to get back together? And just the comment, men hate Issa. They're like, she a hoe.
Everybody in my family, every man, they cannot stand it. But I go, but y'all do it all the time.
I said, wait a minute. Men have sex. Who y'all think they sleeping with before they get married?
Goodness.
What, they just imaginary women that don't exist? The same woman?
All the time. I love it. I'm like, she's making her choices. She's defining who she is.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Start man bashing. I got a man right now. Hey, I'm Special K from the week.